we have done it. We have now completed both the Kanto and Johto Pokedexes in solo running on the channel. Now, the last time I did a tier maker list of this, we'd only done it up to number 35 in the Johto solo runs. So since then, I've actually changed the way that I rank these Pokemon in their solo runs. We're actually going to split them out into their performance getting up to beating the game in Johto, and then also we'll use a separate tier list to show them in their performance in the post game up to beating Red. So I'm just going to take a minute now to sort the ones up to run 35, and then we'll get right into this video. Okay, now that's sorted, we can get on with the tiering. So first up, of course, like we've changed up how we're actually ranking them. So we're basing them purely just off their time, not the level this time around. It'll play into account when we get into the post game stuff, but yeah, for now, yeah, we're gonna do this, especially in the post game as well, where Pokemon need a double team in order to beat Red. That'll affect the rankings, and you'll see they shift up quite a lot. But let's get started with Chinchou. Now, Chinchou finished the game in 5 hours 27 minutes at level 57. Now, according to these rankings, it actually places it in the C tier. But where in the C tier? Well, Sunflora got 5 hours 23 minutes at level 75, so even just on time alone, Chinchou gets beaten out just by Sunflora. Yeah, it's a little bit of a workaround, but I am doing this purely based on time of where they actually finish, so yeah. Delibird is the next one, and again, it's another C tier Pokemon, finishing at 5 hours 21 minutes at level 61. It beats out Sunflora, just getting the number 2 slot in our C tier. Natu was a very weird one, like, it's got terrible movesets, but I don't know, we still managed to do it. It finished at 7 hours 1 minute at level 71, placing it into the D tier, and only just beating out Yangma by, what, 25 minutes? So yeah, oh no, it actually beats out Smeagol as well, so right now it actually sits at the top of D tier from what we've currently ranked. Next up is Jumpluff, and Jumpluff, being a fully evolved Pokemon, it's one of the funner Pokemon, I would say, to actually do a solo run with in Gen 2, but its performance is not very good according to these rankings. Finished at 6 hours 32 minutes, just beating out, like, didn't get into the C tier, and at level 60 flaws, so it actually does knock Natu straight away off that top D tier slot. And it's kind of sad to see a fully evolved 3-stage Pokemon in this low down, but the amount of time and the strategies you have to do to get through the game, it does take you a lot of time. Next up is Quilava, and Quilava did perform pretty well, if I'm being honest. It finished at 4 hours 24 minutes. Now, according to these rankings, that means it actually goes into the A tier. And unfortunately did not beat out Magby and Smoochum. Magby got 4 hours 16 minutes, Smoochum at 4 hours 13. So 4 hours 24, it gets placed just before that. Phanpy got 4 hours 32, so it does get knocked down a place. But the next one, again, you kind of expecting where this Pokemon's going to go. It's Spinarak, and it's going to go into the E tier. Finished at 8 hours 2 minutes at level 83, and it beats out Igglybuff for that top slot in the E tier. Next up is Porygon 2, and Porygon 2 did perform better than I was expecting to, but I was honestly hoping it would perform better. It got 4 hours 32 minutes, placing it into the A tier, and at level 57. Now, it only just beat out Espeon by 2 minutes, so unfortunately, Espeon, you're going to be demoted down to 3rd place so far. Next up is Skiploom, and Skiploom, this whole Pokemon line is just incredibly slow to do a Pokemon solo run with. It got 8 hours and 50 minutes, but at level 59, so that means it does just beat out Pichu purely on levels. I am actually putting levels into account here because Pichu finished at 8 hours 11 minutes, but at level 91, and considering what that's a 35, 40 something like levels difference, I can't ignore that. Like, Pichu does have to be knocked down a bit. Next up is Octillery, and do you know what? I think people have really overlooked using this Pokemon line. It is absolutely incredible. Finished the game at 4 hours and 9 minutes, level 55, placing it into the S tier. Yep, we've finally got a Pokemon in the S tier from all of these runs, and it does beat out Quillfish by 9 minutes. So yeah, Octillery is honestly a really good Pokemon. I would recommend using it. Next up is Ledyba, and Ledyba finished at 8 hours 22 minutes, which is slower than Spinarak, but there was about a 15 level difference between the two, so I am going to place Ledyba slightly higher than Spinarak, as the better of the two bug types from this region. Azumarill is, you know, not as bad as I imagined. Like, Marill did perform pretty poor, but Azumarill finished at 4 hours and 13 minutes at level 60, placing it only just above Smoochum. Because Smoochum got level 65, they both got the exact same time, but 5 levels difference. Yeah, Azumarill does need to be a bit higher. Entei, honestly, this is the one that I thought could actually top Raikou at the time. 3 hours 14 minutes, it just doesn't beat out Raikou by 2 minutes, and Raikou keeps its #1 spot. But SST is incredibly good, and we've been a legendary as well, level 52. They both got the exact same level, but 2 minutes difference edges out Raikou. Next up is Stantler, and I really wanted this to do a lot better than it did. It still performed very, very well. It got 4 hours 32 minutes at level 52, one of the lower levels that we've actually managed to do it at, same as like Raikou and Entei, but with 4 hours 32 minutes, it places it into the A tier, and only just slightly better than Porygon, with a 5 level difference between the two. Murkrow is next, and again, this is another Pokemon I thought would actually perform better. Finished at 4 hours 50 minutes, level 62, placing it into the B tier, and only just getting beaten by Furret actually. Furret got 3 levels less, even though it was 2 minutes worse, but 3 level difference. I think it's fair to place Murkrow behind Furret. If you've never done a Furret run before, honestly try it out, it's great for the post game. Next up is Hitmontop, and to begin with, I didn't know where to place this one. It got 4 hours 29 minutes but level 68, which does put it into the A tier just based on time alone, but nowhere near as quick as Quilava. 5 minute difference, 5 level difference as well between these two. Really does edge them out, and it looks like we've got a lot in the A tier right now, doesn't it? Next up is Forretress, and Forretress, I think no one will surprise this one. It's a C tier Pokemon. 5 hours 47 minutes. It beats out Wooper, does not beat out Chinchou, and I think that's it's a nice placement for it, considering Pinecow's just on the next line down. Fluffy is next, and I was really surprised at how well Fluffy actually performed. It's a middle stage evolution, but at 4 hours and 3 minutes, that time alone actually gets it into the S tier. But it does get beaten out by both Slowking and Octillery, so yeah, unfortunately, actually they need to be switched around based on end time and level. Fluffy does beat out Quillfish, but still, for a middle stage evolution to get that high is absolutely incredible, but I think the electric type is possibly one of the best types in this generation, in my opinion. Next up is Caesar, and I was very annoyed that we missed out on the S tier by 3 minutes. It got 4 hours 13 minutes and beats out Heracross by both time and level alone. Next up is Blissey, and Blissey is an interesting one. Like, fully evolved Pokemon with a 3-stage line, even though it doesn't get Happiny till Gen 4, it goes into the B tier. 5 hours 16 minutes, level 61. It actually gets beaten out by the likes of Snubbull and Magcargo. Yeah, I'm very surprised at that one, considering this, like, the tank that it is with its HP and special defense, but no, it actually did not perform very well because it just can't hit hard. Next up is Hoppip, cleaning out the Hoppip line. Yeah, it was bad. 9 hours and 8 minutes, level 80. Well, 9 hours 58 minutes, level 75. Yeah, it only just beats out Wobbuffet. It is a very slow Pokemon to do a run with. It's fun, don't get me wrong, it is actually very fun to use, but yeah, it's not very quick at all. Cleffa is next, and it doesn't beat out Igglybuff. 8 hours 8 minutes, level 88. Igglybuff did it 1 minute better and 1 level better, so yeah, it definitely earns its spot as number 4 right now. Shuckle, again, we're going to be staying down the E tier for a little while. Shuckle finished in 9 hours 9 minutes, level 68. Which means It does beat out Tyro, but doesn't beat out Pichu. Houndour is next, and I think after doing many E-tier runs, I was very happy to have a good Pokemon for once. Houndour finished the game at 4 hours 33 minutes at level 68, putting it into the A tier. But as for where in the A tier, let's have a quick look. It didn't do as well as Hitmontop, but it did edge out Fampi. Oh no, look at that. Fampi got 4 hours 32 minutes, Houndour got 4 hours 33 minutes. So actually no, Fampi just slightly edges out Houndour. I was not expecting that one. Next up is Quagsire, and I really wanted this guy to do a lot better. But at 5 hours 50 minutes, level 57, it's a C tier Pokemon. And whereabouts in the C tier? Well, Chinchou actually did perform better. That electric typing really did give it an edge. Plus, Quagsire is pretty slow, but it gets in the exact same tier as Wooper, which I was not expecting when I started these runs. Ursaring is next, and Ursaring performed as good as you probably imagined it would. It was a very good Pokemon. 3 hours, 51 minutes, which puts it into the S tier. But whereabouts? S tier, Octillery was 4 hours 9 minutes, Sneasel was 3 hours 45 minutes. Ursaring got 3 hours 51, so I think between these two is more than fair of a placement. And right now at the time, it's 7th best in the region of the runs we've done to this point. Next up is Meganium, and I'm very thankful Legends EA has actually made this Pokemon good, because its debut generation wasn't. It finished in the B tier at 5 hours and 3 minutes. So yeah, it's actually on the very low end of it as well. Magcargo beat it out. It did beat out Blissey though, so Snubbull even beat it out as well. So yeah, second lowest in the B tier right now for a fully evolved starter Pokemon. But this region is just genuinely not built for it. Next up is Hootoo. I don't think anyone's surprised by this one. It's a D tier Pokemon. 6 hours 51 minutes. It actually just beats out Natu, knocking it to the number 3 slot on D tier. Kingdra is next, and again, this is another Pokemon I was very surprised did not perform as well as I thought it would. 4 hours 46 minutes. It only just gets into the B. It doesn't even get into the A tier. It's just knocked down to the B tier, and very high placing though. 4 hours 46 minutes. It's currently our best B tier Pokemon, as Umbreon got 4 hours 48 minutes. Swinub is next, and I don't think anyone's surprised by this one. 7 hours 46 minutes. It's a D tier Pokemon, and a very low ranking one as that. And same with Slugma. Slugma actually edged it out by time. 7 hours 32 minutes. Places in the second slot. Swinub is last in the D tier. Now this one as well, I don't think anyone's surprised. Chikorita finished the game in 7 hours 30 minutes, level 88. Yeah, we had to be level 88 to beat the league with just a Chikorita. Does perform better than Slugma and Swinub, but not as well as Pinecore, like in both time and level. So yeah, Chikorita goes into the D tier, unfortunately. Next up is Sudowoodo, and I was very impressed by this Pokemon. It finished at 4 hours 32 minutes, which, even at level 59, places it just behind Hitmontop. Yep. Can't place it any higher than that. I really want to place the guy a lot higher, but Sudowoodo, it's an A tier, but it's quite a low ranking one. Politoed is next, and Politoed, I like the Poliwag line, and it's even in solo running, it is very good, and it performed in this as well. It's an S tier Pokemon, 3 hours 52 minutes, meaning that it also outpaces the likes of Octillery, Slowking. It's a pretty damn good Pokemon, and currently number 8th in this so far. But it's going to be put to number 9 pretty quickly as Feraligatr comes in next. Feraligatr finished at 3 hours 49 minutes at level 56, beating out Sneasel by levels. But Aipom is still higher than it, which is very funny in my opinion. Next up is Gramble, and I think this is probably one of the more forgettable Pokemon from Johto, but it's actually not too bad. Gets the element of punches, and it finished at 4 hours 24 minutes, just beating out Quilava on one level between the two. They both finished on the exact same time, but Quilava was 1 level worse at 63. Granbull is level 62. Sentra is next, and unfortunately, Furret gets all the speed in the evolution, whereas Sentra is pretty slow, and that's not good in this generation. It finished at 7 hours 22 minutes, level 78, just beating out Slugma. So at least Chikorita is not the third worst in D tier, but still, to go from like a B tier to a D tier between your evolutions, it's quite a big jump between the two. Next up is Sunkern, and yeah, everybody knows where this one's going. It is one of the worst Pokemon, worst base stats in all of Pokemon. It finished at 10 hours 47 minutes, level 79. Finally, Hoppip is not the second worst Pokemon, but I don't think we're going to find any worse than that. And that's where we got up to before I actually put down the Gen 2 runs for a while to focus on Gen 1. So, from everything you've seen this year, from 2026, these are the runs here that we're now going to rank. First up is Girafarig, and I thought that Stantler was better than this thing, but no. Girafarig performed way better than Stantler. 4 hours, 18 minutes, and a level 59. It goes into the A tier, and only just beaten out by Heracross. Yeah, who would have thought the bugs would be better than the Psyche types in this generation? Next up is Misdreavus, and considering how good the Ghastly line was in Gen 1, like all of them were A tier plus, Misdreavus does not actually do too well, which might make you assume why Morty doesn't use it, but still, 5 hours 45 minutes, level 60, it's a solid C tier Pokemon, and only just beaten out by Quagsire by a few levels. That's literally all it is. Next up is Crobat, and this thing is an absolute monster. Like, legitimate monster. It finished the game in 3 hours 51 minutes and at a better level than Ursaring. By 1 level the difference between Crobat and Ursaring. It's crazy how close that was. Next up is Ledian, and Ledian being the evolution of the Ledibar line, you'd assume it's going to be just as bad, but you know what? Yeah, it's still bad, but Ledian actually tops our D tier rankings. Now you might be wondering, why is Ariados up in the A tier? Well, Ariados just genuinely gets better moves. It really didn't finish on a good level, but by time alone it actually finished in the A tier. Ledian didn't have that luxury. It finishes in the D tier, and we move on to Mareep. Now, so far, Fluffy has been absolutely insane. Like, really, really good Pokemon. That's going to continue with its whole evolution line. Mareep finished at 4 hours 55 minutes, level 62, just getting edged out by Murkrow by 3 minutes. Like, that's a base stage evolution Pokemon, it's already in the B tier. And even though some babies are outpacing it, it's still really, really good. Next up is Pupitar, and middle stage Pseudo. It's kind of trash with its typing and slow speed. 5 hours 21 minutes, level 69. Even Corsola beats it out. Yeah. Even though Corsola got 3 minutes worse, it was 8 levels better than Pupitar. That's the difference between these two. And now to rank easily the most surprising Pokemon of the entire solo running playlist. Donphan got 3 hours 34 minutes, level 56. It beat out Typhlosion. That's how good it was. Like, incredible run. I had no idea Donphan on its own was so good for this region. Unfortunately, it didn't carry on with the ground types though, because regrettably, Gligar did not perform anywhere near as good. It finished at 5 hours 18 minutes, putting it into the B tier, and kind of a low B tier in ranking. It gets edged out by Snubbull of all things, but still better than Meganium, so at least it's got that. Tyranitar really performed as well. 3 hours 30 minutes, a level 51. That's a really good time. It even beats out Lugia. So Tyranitar currently is our third best Pokemon, but that is honestly going to change very, very quickly, because the last however many runs that I did in this year, really, I don't know what I was on, but I must have just clicked into something I knew how to do much better in Johto. That SS tier is going to get even larger. But next up is Totodile, a solid B tier Pokemon. And unfortunately, doesn't beat out Meganium, but considering there was, what, 1 minute difference between these two at the exact same level, that's making Meganium look even worse. The fact that a base stage starter of the same region is as good as a fully evolved Meganium. Like, that's really, really bad. Next up is Lantern, again another solid B tier in Pokemon. 5 hours 2 minutes. It beats out Mantine. It beats out where am I looking? Yeah, it beats out Mantine, but it doesn't beat Umbreon, placing it in the number 3 slot of B tier. And next up, we're heading back to the SS tier with Ho-Oh, much better than Lugia in every single way for this, and that's. Pokemon Gold was my game. My siblings had Pokemon Silver, so Ho-Oh was my box art legendary. Ho-Oh finished at 3 hours 29 minutes, Lugia finished at 3 hours 35 minutes, Tyranitar finished at 3 hours 30 minutes. So 1 minute difference between Ho-Oh and Tyranitar placed it into the number 3 slot. And now again, probably one of the most unbelievable videos that I've done. Elekid finished at the top of the SS tier with 3 hours 34 minutes, only just 4 minutes away from the SS tier, and for a baby Pokemon to be ranking higher than everything else on the S tier is absolutely insane. But the electric type is just that good in Johto that a baby Pokemon of Elekid can do so well. Next up is Skarmory, and Skarmory is again another S tier Pokemon. 4 hours 7 minutes, level 50. It does pretty well. It beats out likes of Politoed. No, it doesn't beat out Politoed. Beats out Octillery quite comfortably, with about 2 minutes difference and 5 levels difference, but Politoed did it a lot quicker than these two, so I'm happy that Skarmory's in the S tier. S tier for Skarmory. Next up is Cyndaquil, and Cyndaquil is by far our highest tier in base stage Pokemon. It beats out Lantern at 4 hours 49 minutes at a level 58. And yeah, officially, it is our best performance starter. Both the other two are in B tier, like Cyndaquil and Totodile, and then you've got Chikorita in the D tier. Really shows the difference between the two. Next up is Suicune, the last of the legendary beasts that we did a run with. 3 hours 29 minutes. It got beat out by 14 minutes by both of them. Yeah, it really didn't do as well, but actually it did slightly better than Tyranitar with 3 hours 29 minutes, 3 hours 30 minutes for Tyranitar. And I'm kind of annoyed that the top 3 Pokemon right now are all, top 4 Pokemon are all legendary Pokemon. Johto had a real problem with power in this generation, in my opinion. Like, a lot of the Pokemon just aren't very good whatsoever. Next up is Noctowl, 4 hours 46 minutes. It's a solid B tier Pokemon and beats out Kingdra off that top spot by just 1 level between the two. Exact same time, but Noctowl got 1 level better. Next up is Croconaw, and Croconaw joins the exact same tier as its evolution. It gets into the SS tier with a time of 4 hours 4 minutes, level 56. Again, Octillery just keeps getting knocked further and further down these rankings. Next up is Remoraid, again another really surprisingly good Pokemon. 4 hours 21 minutes, level 56. It beats out Stantler. Yeah, about 11 minutes difference between these two slots. That is really good for a base stage evolution Pokemon. Like, how many base stage? You got Elekid, then it's Remoraid. So far, it's actually the best base stage, second best base stage Pokemon we've done a run with. Yeah, one of the most unassuming ones as well. I'm very happy about this one as well. Ampharos, 3 hours 19 minutes. It beats out Ho-Oh. Yeah, Ampharos gets into the SS tier at our number 3 slot, but it only just beat out Houndoom as well. 3 hours 29 minutes. Ho-Oh actually is just slightly better. 1 level better for Ho-Oh. Houndoom finished. Actually, no, they finished on the exact same time and level, Ho-Oh and Houndoom. So, ooh, you know what? Considering that Ho-Oh is a legendary, Houndoom's not, I'm going to put Houndoom slightly higher just because it doesn't have it's good base stats and it still performed as well. So yeah, I'm going to put Houndoom in our 4th slot. Next is Bayleaf, and Bayleaf, just not good. It's a D tier, it's a C tier Pokemon. 5 hours 4 minutes at level 64. It only just beats out Fortress by 7 minutes, and quite a few levels to be honest, but still. Yeah, Meganium, it's just going down in tiers, B, C and D. Next up though is Blossom, and this is a funny one because with Blossom's placement before Meganium, finished it 13 levels better, Blossom is actually our best grass type Pokemon run that we've done in this generation, which I was not expecting whatsoever. Like Meganium, hang your head in shame because Blossom is better than you. Next is Togetic, and thankfully we've redeemed the Togepi line a little bit. With 4 hours 54 minutes level 69, it beats out Gligar only, well, by about 26 minutes? Maybe 26, yeah. Something around that. Gligar got a much lower level, but Togetic got way better time. Miltank is just as scary as when you face her against Whitney. S tier Pokemon, 3 hours 59 minutes. It beats out Skarmory, but it doesn't beat out Politoed. Now another surprising Pokemon, considering that Swinub was all the way down here, Piloswine is actually really damn good. Got 3 hours 44 minutes, level 54, the exact same time and level as Elekid in the S tier. So that right now places it as our 12th best run that we've actually done, which I was not expecting from Piloswine. But then again, I've had a lot of fun using Piloswine in the past. It's very unassuming from when it goes up against a lot of people. Xatu is next, and 4 hours 90 minutes 50 level 56. It doesn't beat out Girafarig, but it does beat out Remoraid. And that A tier is looking massive, really. Next is Teddiursa, who again is also going to be joining the A tier, but it will be joining it below Quilava. 4 hours 25 minutes, one minute worse than Quilava. And that brings us to Celebi, who, unfortunately for us, is going to steal that number 3 slot at 3 hours 18 minutes level 55, 1 minute better than Ampharos, but the exact same level. I can't put it any lower. And I think the Pokemon no one is surprised by, Unknown, is in the E tier. 9 hours 8 minutes level 82. It beats out Hoppip, but Tyrogue, strangely a little bit better. And there we go. This is the tier listing for every single solo run in Gen 2. But this is only up to the Pokemon League and beating Lance. We'll switch over to the next screen now as well, which will show you how they ranked in the post game. So what you're seeing right now is when they've beaten Red. So this is the full game completed, including the post game. And you'll notice if I whack them up side by side, we've got a massive difference between the two now. Wobbuffet puts itself into the F tier because I couldn't get past Blue. A lot of Pokemon that were like A tier, such as Steelix and Ariados, they've gone down to the E tier because when it came to Red, they couldn't do it without double teaming. Fortress has dropped down to the E tier as well. Swinub, low in the E tier as well. It's slow and it's got really bad resistances to a lot of its team. But some Pokemon also did jump up in their expectations, so Celebi actually now is our best Pokemon. Elekid went from the S tier to the SS tier. Lugia went down from the SS tier to the S tier. There are so many Pokemon that shift around when it gets to the post game and their performance. And honestly, really, really fun. A lot of the runs that I've done in Gen 2, a lot of the time I did complain about like the likes of the Rocket Side Quest, but the last 30 or so runs that I did in 2026, I really enjoyed playing them. Even the Unknown run, as tedious as it was, still was quite fun. It's a fun generation. I understand now why it's the favourite of so many people. But as I've said, we've now completed both Gen 1 and Gen 2 in its entirety in solo running each Pokemon. So which generation are we going to move on to next? Which generation do you want me to do next? Let me know down in the comments, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. And thank you for being here for the ride. Take care, everyone.